Hello, everybody. This
Good
is
morning, good afternoon,
Good
or whatever.
morning. Good afternoon. I don't even know what it is. So this is the May 13th, 2001 meeting of the New York State Board of Real Estate Appraisers. I would like to take attendance just for the board members, just to show that we have a quorum. So Steve Farrell's here. Carol, are you here? Carol,
I am. I'm on.
Okay. Okay. So the reason I'm asking because I can't see everyone, so I apologize. My Cisco system isn't working again. So Anthony Jarisol, are you here?
Excused today. We won't be present.
Okay. James Rat. James, are you here?
Yes, I'm here via cell phone.
Okay. Thanks, Jim. Lillian Levy, are you here?
She's on.
And she isn't. She's not.
Are you muted, Lillian? Can't hear you.
While we're waiting, Elazar Rodriguez. Elazar, are you here?
I'm on.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we're just waiting to see if Lillian is here.
Lillian's here. She just can't. You just can't hear her.
Okay.
We can see
so
her.
We have a quorum, and then is Rebecca Jones here, our public member?
I'm present.
Okay, thank you, Becky. All right, so we have a quorum, so we can move the meeting forward. Everybody has received in a previous email and packets the meeting notes from the February 25th, 2001 meeting. Are there any questions on summary notes that you received?
I would just like to thank Denise for such thorough notes. And I move that we.
Okay, Carol's made a motion to accept. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so noted that the meeting notes from February 25th, 2001 have been accepted. So we'll now move to department reports. Under enforcement and continuing education and audits, we'll be hearing from Ernest Delaney. Ernest, are you out there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, Ernest.
Good afternoon, everyone. This enforcement report will cover the period from February 25th, 2021, the date of our last report meeting, to the present. Over that time period, the Department of State received a total of 7 new appraiser complaints. Also during that time period, we completed our investigation on 11 complaints. The disposition of the completed investigations include 4 complaints which were closed out due to no violation, 1 complaint in which we issued a warning letter to the appraiser, and 6 complaints which we referred to our counsel's office with the recommendation of some disciplinary action. Our current appraiser complaint caseload totals 33 cases. The complaints, when I look over the complaints mostly consist of homeowners, property owners who disagree with the appraiser's final opinion of value, and the complaints allege that the appraiser either failed to make proper adjustments to or on improvements to the property, or the appraiser selected dissimilar comps. That concludes my enforcement report. Are there any questions?
Okay, thank you, Ernest. Can I have, if there are no questions, can I have a motion to accept Ernest's report?
Motion to accept.
Second.
I have a second. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ernest, for updating us on enforcement and continuing education audits. The next agenda item is a processing report from Emily Lupi. Emily, are you there?
Yes, hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Included in the materials that you were provided, you will find licensing statistics for April of 2020 and April of 2021. These reports show the number of real estate appraisers broken down by county and by class code or license type. These numbers include only licensees and do not include those licensees whose licenses may have expired and are covered by Executive Order 202.11, which allows individuals licensed by the Department of State to extend the expiration of their license during the state of emergency. And that concludes the processing report.
Thank you. Are there any questions
Right,
about the
just a
processing
quick
report?
question. Emily, is there any way to track if those licensees that are still able to work by the executive order, do we know how many that has affected?
I am not sure if we would be able to make that, how that determination would be made.
I wonder, it might be hard to pull out, but I just wondered if you had any idea of the people that haven't gone to the normal renewal, but are still able to practice because of the executive order and extension order. But if we don't have that data, we don't have that data. Thank you, Bill.
Sure.
Emily?
Mm-hmm.
My question is was this something required of them to take benefit from the executive order? Were they supposed to do something, or does it automatically renew? How did that work?
So essentially, they can continue to, if they expired within the time frame for the executive order, they are considered to still be licensed under the executive order. So while you are able to renew your license, it's still considered, even if it's an expired license that, say, expired on July 1st of 2020, it's covered by the executive order and is still able to be used at this time while the executive order is in place.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, are there any other further questions of Emily? Well, thank you, Emily, for updating us.
All right, thank you.
If I can have a motion to accept Emily's report.
Motion to accept Emily's report.
Is that I believe there was a first and a second. All in favor of the report? Aye.
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 Thank you. Okay, moving on the agenda, we have an education update from Marcella Rose. Marcella, are you out there?
I am out here. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The next version of the 7-hour USPAP course will be released October 1st, 2021, and be available for offering through December 31st, 2023. Once released, the department will notify education providers that they will need to begin offering the new version on 1/1/2022. In March, a notification went out to all course providers about the newly adopted continuing education requirements effective January 1st, 2022. To date, 3 organizations have been approved to offer the new fair housing continuing education courses. That concludes my report. Are there any questions?
So I'm going to jump in. It's Becky. If I have permission to ask a question, Steve?
Yeah.
Okay. I know the Appraisal Foundation extended USPAP an additional year. So as a USPAP instructor, we're not getting the new USPAP until 2022. And I'm not sure if that contradicted what you said, Marcy, and I'm sorry for putting you on the spot because you know how much I adore you. And I can Google it real quick and put the link in the chat box.
Becky, just to answer that, So the use PAP, the 2021 use PAP is being extended to 2022. However, the course itself, the 7-hour use PAP course that people have to take, the new one is coming out October 1st. You know, we clarified this with the ASC.
Okay.
So use PAP is still being extended, but they're coming up with a new course regarding the use PAP that's being extended to 2022. And so this new course needs to be taken by everybody and will be available to the schools, you know, to be offered for January 1st. Does that clarify it?
Yeah, because I didn't even get that information as an instructor. So thank you for that update. That's why I was wondering the conflicting information. I appreciate that. So it's not going to be.
We clarified that with the ASC last week because we were a little confused about the whole thing. So
God bless their hearts. God bless their hearts, right? So the course, from my understanding, then, just to clarify, is not going to be the new youth PAP version because they don't have it yet. I think what they're doing is they're just creating like a gap course.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Sorry, Marcy.
That's okay. Thank you.
Okay, so Marcy, does that conclude your report?
That concludes my report. Yes.
Can I have,
So I have a
ask,
question.
oh,
Go ahead, Carol.
I just wanted to ask Marcy, the 3 schools that were approved for the fair housing, are they approved for both the 7-hour new licensing course and the 3-hour or 4-hour continuing education course?
So all 3 schools have been approved for the new 7-hour fair housing course. Only one of the schools submitted for the 4-hour fair housing course.
So it's really the qualifying course that 3 of them are approved for, but okay. Thank you for that information. We just need to get more schools on board with the continuing education course.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So that was the question that I had. I was wondering if anybody picked up the 4-hour course yet. Okay. Well, thank you, Marcella, for your update.
You're welcome.
If there aren't any other questions, can I have a motion to accept Marcella's education update report?
So moved.
Second? I'll second. Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you much. So moving on to action items, agenda item 3, an update on the new CE requirements. Amy, are you out? I think I heard you earlier, Amy, but are you still out there?
I'm here. So I
Okay.
just wanted to let everybody know that in order to get the word out there about the new CE requirement, in addition to Marcy notifying the schools, we also put the notification on our website. It gives them what the new requirements are, and to, you know, to also bring to your attention, I wanted to let you know, I'm not sure you all know that we deployed a new website. It's a total redesign of the whole department's website. It's in line with a lot of the other state websites. It's much more streamlined. It looks much nicer. It's more intuitive. I think people that are used to the old site might be a little confused, but new people coming in, I think it's set up so it standardizes it across our department and our different licensing disciplines to make it more convenient. You know, with any website that you do a total redesign, there's a few glitches here and there that we've been working on fixing. As soon as we get a notification, sometimes broken links happen, you know, new documents have links in there that need to be updated, but, you know, we've been actively fixing those items as we go along. But the whole look of it looks much nicer, it's much neater looking, it's more streamlined. But for this requirement, if you go to the Appraiser page, right on the side page, there's a scroll down, and it'll say new continuing ed requirements. So we try to put it front and center on the Appraiser page to make people aware of it rather than having to scroll all around. So if you come across any issues with the website, any broken links, anything that you want to bring to our attention, just send me an email and I'll get it corrected. But the one last thing I wanted to say is that in addition to the website, we'll be making modifications to the appraiser renewal also to include the requirements on the renewal when they're, filling out the renewal form for January 1st. So we'll probably get something on there 90 days prior when the renewals are going out for the January 1st, 2022 date. Any questions?
So Amy, so in the print request that you send out 90 days prior to, you have notification there, right, stating they need to take this course within their time?
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to update, like, we're not 90 days prior to that, but
Right.
so nobody needs to take it right now. So for those people that will need to take it for January, I'll have a notification on there that this requirement is going into effect.
Very good.
So,
This way they can't say we have notified them.
And on the online one also.
Amy,
Yeah, so,
Becky and I actually have been on the site. It does take a little getting used to when you're used to maneuvering around, but there seems to be a lot more information. But one thing we did notice, it was an old version of the appraisal license law, and I don't know if that has been updated since we were on maybe last week or the week before. It was actually a 2016 version, so it didn't even have the 19 version.
Okay. Yeah. I'll have that looked into right away. They were kind of maintaining two websites, the old one and the new one, and as updates happen, sometimes they didn't put it on the new one, but so that's what we're running into, and we're trying to get them updated as soon as possible. So anything that you find, bring it to my attention.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I think it is going to be easier once we get used to it. Yeah, it's just getting used to something new. But it looks nicer, and it has our our logo and our colorings and all that kind of stuff. So it's been a big project in the works for years to try to make it compliant with some of the other agencies too, to make it the state look kind of the same across the board. So.
all right. Well, Amy, thank you for that update. That's good to know. Are there any other questions for Amy at this point? From anybody, the members, the public, anybody else out there fooling around? Okay. Then can I please have a motion to accept Amy's report?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? No one opposed. Okay, thank you, Amy, very much for that update. Under action item B, the practical application of real estate appraisal, or PARA, I think I'm pronouncing that right. A committee report from Carol DeSanto and Rebecca Jones. So if you guys want to jump in and start reporting, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. And if you guys refer back to your meeting summary from February under action item B, so that helps you familiarize yourself with PIREA and what we're talking about. We were commissioned to do a subcommittee to have a conversation, about pursuing this because in the summary it said it's worth taking a look at. So we met 5 times since February. We had 3 meetings with the committee volunteers and the Department of State staff, and then we had 2 meetings with just the boots on the ground volunteers. And we've concluded that with the times coming forward, that this is definitely something we want to pursue. And when I say that is, there's a federal bill out there right now, HR, I think it's 5325. If I talk about it real quick, the appraisal subcommittee is going to be funded $50 million for 4 years, starting in 2020. Now, this still hasn't been signed by the president, but this is the proposal because they want to fast track professionals into the appraiser profession. And PIREA is one of the ways to kind of fast track because of the experience. So definitely something we can't ignore. What we've concluded with the committee is we need to start with the definitions, taking a look at supervisory, mentor, and instructor, and then kind of go from there. That's all I have to report, unless Carol, you want to add anything on to that?
No, this is an ongoing process. It will take time to go through all of the sections that we after the definitions, the sections that those definitions will affect in the current law, and we appreciate that we are looking for other appraisers to help with this process. And I appreciate the work that is being done.
And I did email you all. I'm going to have to step back from the committee for some periods of time. So we're going to need other people to kind of step up.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate all your help.
Very much appreciated. Steve, are you still there? Did we lose Steve?
I'm sorry. I don't know what I did. All right. So I appreciate everything you guys have done. I'm going to come back to this under new business because I've had both conversations with Carol and Becky in constructive conversations. And I think there's some points that we discussed that need to be brought up under new business. So I'm going to just put the discussion aside for the moment. If there aren't any other questions of Becky or Carol, can I have a motion to accept their report? I'll make the first motion. Can I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, so thank you both, Carol and Becky, for all the time and effort there. We're going to come back and visit this shortly. So at this point, we move on to item number 4, which is new business, the executive order update from David Mosberg. David, I think I heard you earlier out there.
Yes, hi. Good afternoon, everybody. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah.
So just going over the executive orders that are in effect relevant to the board. As discussed previously, there is the executive order which continues licenses then in effect prior to the first original order. That order was again extended. Governor signed an order, I believe it was earlier this week. The new expiration date for all of the orders are now set to expire on June 9th. And I believe we have or will be updating our website soon, as Amy was mentioning before, to reflect that. So that is the update regarding the executive orders.
Okay. Thank you, David. Are there any questions for David at this point? Okay, if there are no questions, can I please have a motion to accept his report?
Motion to accept.
Thank you. Second.
Thank you, David.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Okay, so thank you, David, for updating us on the executive order. So at this point, before we move into the next meeting date, there are a couple things that I would like to go over. First, and I'm not going to put Denise on the spot, but something that I think we've mentioned a number of times is where I'll probably start this. I don't know where we are with individuals that have made application to become board members. And Denise, again, this is something that's come up in the last day or so. If we can come up with some type of update for the next meeting, or even if you have to email something out, it's becoming almost alarming that we get some people on this board, other than the individuals that have been sitting on this board now, or have been sitting on the board for over 15 years. And the reason that I bring that up is the second point, and I've made requests that other board members, and I'm not trying to put one individual or any individuals on the spot, but that other individuals get active in the subcommittee. For a number of years, I've leaned on tremendously, both Carol and Becky, to do a lot of the heavy lifting with this. There have been different times that I wasn't able to because of whatever was going on. So I've spoken to Becky. Becky has taken a leave of absence, back for lack of a better term at this point, and I really appreciate all that she's done. I have a personal relationship with both of them. But I also have to reflect is that if we can't get board members active, or we can't get board members on, I will tell you that I almost take it as a point where maybe the leadership, and this comes directly from me, maybe we need to change the leadership team up with this. Maybe it's because, we've taken on more responsibilities than we should as board members, people that are active. I made mentions to Carol. At a certain point with this chair position, it was like a full-time job, and now they've taken on that full-time job. And I don't think it's fair to just have 2 or 3 individuals be carrying the load here. So this is kind of a request for me. If you are on this board, I would take it as a personal favor that you get more active. And don't take this as a personal offense. But if you're on this board as a resume building option, and you're not doing something, then it's not effective. And I go back to the fact that maybe it is a time for leadership change. Maybe I've sat in this role for too long, and maybe we need to shock it up a little bit. But before we make those leadership conversation changes, I would like to go the first route of having board members that are here become more active. Because individually, I can't ask any more of people that are involved, and I can't ask any more of staff. So I've kind of come to a quandary as to what to do. So I guess between now and possibly the next board meeting, if we can get some activity from the members that are here, I would appreciate it. If we can get the empty roles filled with some people that want to be active, I would appreciate it. But at this point, I have no direction personally as to what I can do to make it any easier or any better. So I guess, it's now out, and I think it's something that's been looming for a while, and it's a situation that we need to have some addressing to. So I'll leave it at that at this point. Denise, if we can produce some names to see where they are, if anybody that's on the board would become more active, I would appreciate it. If someone on the board knows somebody that wants to be on the board, that wants to be active, I would appreciate it. But other than that, I have no more answers for this. And I have to be completely honest with you. I know this is a public forum, but I've really come to the point where I don't think I'm having any effect at all anymore. And maybe it's time that we switch things up. But before we do that, I'm not going to completely step aside, and I would rather not. I'll still remain on the board, but I have to be honest with you. My personal effect is that it appears my leadership has got us to a point where we either change it up or we get more active members on the board. So that's kind of my ending call here today. So I guess if anybody has any comments or concerns you want to add on, I'm more than open to listen. But at this point, inactive members, and it's not a personal reflection, but if you want to sit on something, you've got to become more active. It doesn't make the board effective for just 2 or 3 people to be voicing opinions. You're all educated individuals that have experienced in this profession, and you need to weigh in to make it better. So that's I don't want to go on and on. That's my whatever it is. If anybody else wants to weigh in, please feel free to weigh in. It is what it is, and we are where we are. Wow, it's like listening to the cricket. Denise, can you produce the names of what we have and where they are, and anybody else that might be active?
I don't know them offhand. They do go to our appointments office if we get any, but they always encourage any individuals who are interested in being a member on any of our boards to please, go ahead and put in a letter of interest and a resume. anyone can send them directly to me, and I'll forward them to our appointments office.
Okay. And I wasn't trying to put you on the spot, Denise, by any means.
No, that's okay.
If there's something that you can produce so we can look at it, because we just seem to be stagnant. I mean, this has gone on for, on like 12 years, where we're not getting people, acclimated or activated or however you want to put it. And it's really something that we need to change a little bit, because right now it's not working. And again, I take the responsibility. It's a reflection on my leadership that we're just not getting active members. So if anybody has anything they want to add and they don't want to do it on a meeting, please email me or Denise or anybody else with any ideas you might have.
Well, I'd like to add on to that just for a second. We've had vacancies on our board for years. We have difficulty in reaching a quorum at many meetings. We've had meetings where I live 3 hours away, where I've driven to Albany and not had a quorum. It's frustrating. And we can't help develop and mentor new leaders up through if we don't have them there to mentor. This is a serious issue, and I think that I don't know who we can reach out to as board members, or if there's something as the present board members can do to encourage these appointments to take place. We're only as effective as the people that are serving. And I think everybody on this call, their hearts and minds are in the right place. We're here to protect the public trust. We're here to make our profession better. But we do need to fill these positions ASAP. Any assistance
Definitely.
we'd appreciate.
I just wanted to add one thing as I'm looking over the board member list. The appointment authorities, the Secretary of State doesn't appoint any of the positions for the Real Estate Appraisal Board. So individuals might want to reach out to the individual appointing authorities if they're interested in serving on this board.
So can we look at it, at one point we looked at it like this. If an individual is interested and they did make application, we could always say to them, okay, you're interested. The Senate Majority Leader has an appointment, and then put them in contact with the person who works for the Senate Majority, so we should move that way. Because, and I'm just making that I'm making a conclusion. If you reach out to the Majority Leader's chief of staff, they might not get a response for 6, 7, 8 months or whatever. Could we facilitate it where if someone makes application or interest, that we can at least steer them to that chief of staff and coordinate?
You can send the information to our appointments office. I don't know if they have any limitations as to what their role is in these particular appointments.
Okay. So, I mean, and as we always are, we always look for guidance to staff when it comes to internal process. Okay. Is there anyone else that would like to weigh in on this comment? Again, I would ask board members who are new or just getting here, or have been on for a little while, really the items that always make the subcommittee are very important to the occupation, which is directly affects you. So to have a voice to weigh in is quite good. And really the more voices, the better. Leaving it up to 2 or 3 people really limits the scope that we can discuss things. Okay, if there's no one else that would like to express concerns in this topic, I guess I would say that our next meeting is scheduled for October 14th at 1 o'clock, and hopefully by then maybe we can see some people. If there's no concern about that, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
Second motion. Thank you. Okay. Well, I appreciate everyone listening. I don't mean to be long-winded, but it is a topic of concern. So, everybody enjoy the rest of your summer if I don't speak to you all, and I will see you in October.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good day, everyone. Thank you. Bye.